Welcome to Live, Life Inspired Views for Every Day. My name is Chris Meyer, and I'm a curious soul. I love to make New Year's resolutions. Perhaps it began after I passed out of my junior high stage of wanting to be liked and instead focused on wanting to like me for who I was. I began to realize that learning and becoming better than I was yesterday is a wonderful adventure in life. I absolutely love to learn. I thought about this last week while reading an interesting article by David Brooks in the Atlantic magazine. He was extolling the importance of remembering that our society was built on more than 70-hour work weeks and the incessant grind to succeed high academically. Brooks insists that we aren't such a mediocre thinking society as some may say we are. He said, "We are not going to out-compete China by rote learning and obsessive test taking. We have a flair for dynamism, creativity, and innovation." Hmm. Those words in that paragraph really caught my attention and swooped me back to the summer of 2004. I had been teaching English in China and had a 17-year-old student who chose the word antelope as his English name. He was a thinker and so introspective. One day, Antelope asked me, "Chris, if the American teenagers don't have to study as hard and take as difficult exams as we do in China, why are there so many excellent universities and scientists in America?" I replied, "Antelope, I don't know." But I gave an answer to him that came from my gut and understanding of our two different educational political landscapes. I said, "Antelope, I'm guessing it could possibly be because in America we are still free to ask the question, to challenge the text, to creatively suggest or research alternative possibilities." Later, while reading the book The World is Flat by Thomas Friedman, he seemed to confirm my answer to Antelope by supporting the fact that we have kept our edge in America because we have encouraged and allowed innovation through our educational system. Friedman's book was published in 2005. As an educator, I struggle that our focus has shifted from the innovative, creative spirit to an overemphasis on assessment driven education, like we've seen in some other countries. Kate Bowler, a writer and academic, stated, "In this hyper quantified world, we have to look past the numbers to find the heartbeat of our work." Ooh, I like that. As I teach graduate students learning to become professional school counselors, I'm mindful that though everything in education is pushing the data driven button and constantly relying on data to prove, as proof of evidence to what must be measured, and it seems everything must be measured, I feel compelled to lean forward and continue encouraging my students that the heartbeat of our work, of our living in this society and world, cannot be ignored. We cannot ignore the heart. For years, I've been intrigued by a psychological study devised by Bob Rosenthal in the early 1960s that he dubbed the Pygmalion effect. It's become hard science because it has been reproduced many times with the same effects. In the study, students in an elementary school were given an IQ test. The results of those tests were tossed aside unbeknownst to the teachers. The students were then randomly assigned to various teachers. Some teachers were told that their students had the highest potential according to the IQ tests. Other teachers were told that, unfortunately, their students would not be the highest achievers. In the end, all the classes lived up to the expectations that were told to the teachers. The teachers with students that were supposed to be high potential gave them more individual attention, praise, and encouragement, and their scores and aptitudes ended up significantly above those classes where the teachers were told not to expect too much. High expectations, along with encouragement and support, are a powerful influence in any place for people of any age. We cannot ignore the power of the heart and the art of encouraging. There is a book on my shelf called Turning to One Another: Simple Conversations to Restore Hope in the Future by Margaret Wheatley. Listen to this sentence. She writes, "It is an increasingly dark time. It is difficult to do good and lasting work. It is seemingly impossible to create healthy change, but people still are basically good and caring. We may feel distressed, overwhelmed, numbed, and afraid. But beneath these feelings, we still desire learning, freedom, meaning, and love. She goes on to say, because this is a time when we are bombarded with images of human badness, I have been intentionally exploring human goodness. Do you think she wrote that this year? You're wrong. The book was published in 2009. Could the Pygmalion effect help us during these times too? Can we assign high expectations of ourselves to lean into hope and positiveness so that the energy we exert can bring about results reflecting the goodness of heart? Remember, one flame destroys a dark room. That is all the data I need. I believe this in my heart. This week, on your bathroom mirror, write, I will assign myself high expectations to love, treat others with kindness, to hope, and always to learn. Join me next Monday for Live, life inspired views for every day. I'm Chris Meyer, and I'm a curious soul.